Hi, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Andy. You all know that. And I'm here for the other thing you know about, which is we are talking to all of the vendors and sponsors who are coming to the Health and Wellness event 2026 at Casa Sur Hacienda on Saturday, July 31st. And today, I am so excited to talk to Stacy Reidinger with Cause San Diego, who will also be joining us at the event. Stacy, welcome to the show.
Hi, I do want to tell you, Andy, you said July 31st.
I said July. We should do it in January. Let's do it in
Yeah, it's January.
I think I'm excited for the summer event that I'm like
You must
pre
be.
I'm pre-planning. Hey Ricky, we need to do a summer event. So yeah, January 31st, Saturday. Thank you so much for catching that right away. I am excited. I've really enjoyed having all these conversations with the participants and having everyone give a chance to kind of talk about who they are, what they do, how they can help, and why this whole wellness in 2026 is important. So, welcome to the chat today. Thank you so much for your contribution and for helping us out.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
So first things first, Cause San Diego does a lot throughout San Diego to kind of like help uplift a lot of organizations, even for-profit businesses and how they can do good in their communities and their neighborhoods. So I would love for you to talk a little bit about, on the 31st of January, what is it you're going to bring to share with people, talk about, and encourage them to get activated on in 2026?
Ricky Ricardo, by the way, he's been a great volunteer team member with Cause San Diego. Our mission is to accelerate social impact here in the region by bringing together the public and private sectors. What we often find are that there are these silos of compassion. So each of the sectors are working in their realms, but they can only do so much. And so we're here to kind of activate and get more of them to collaborate and work across industries. So when you come out on the 31st, Casa del Hacienda. Yes, sorry, mouthful. What we're going to be doing is exploring what those cause partnerships can look like across industries. We're going to talk about those best practices, talk about how this can lend to you having stronger relationships with your community, also how it lends to profitability for your company in many ways. There's so many benefits to collaboration. Some of the key things that we'll talk about are how this can lead into helping you to recruit and retain talent for your business. We'll also talk about how working with nonprofit partners can lead to longer term relationships that can be very conducive to your bottom line, as well as just really helping your employees feel purposeful at work. We've had people that we've helped and talked to who work for, let's say that they do a plumbing business. Now, everybody's showing up to do plumbing. It's probably not a fun time all the time. But if someone working for that business knows that a part of their business is also tied in with helping children who might be at Emilio Neris Foundation, for instance, we're going to have Elsa Morales Roth, the executive director for them. If they know that part of their work or their company gives them a couple of hours a month to go help and give back to children with cancer and helping in that way, going out there to do that plumbing job is going to feel a little bit easier because of that. So we'll dive into that. And in addition, we'll have some of the individuals that are going to be on our panel kind of sharing about their case studies and what they've seen to be successful, whether it comes from a nonprofit perspective, for profit, academia, or government.
So I want to ask you because everyone kind of has their own arrival. What led to you being in this position here in San Diego? Like I, I, I feel like San Diego is a very philanthropic town, and there's whether you see it from TV advertisements, radio advertisements, stuff around town where you see the next upcoming big 5K or fundraising for a cure or whatever. There's just like this philanthropy thread that seems to run through San Diego. What drew you into doing this and putting your focus and passion into this?
Yes, so I served for 24 years in the Marine Corps active duty all around the world. I did start doing volunteer work during my time while I was enlisted and then later as an officer. But what I think has hit me the most is after retiring here in San Diego in 2017, the disparities between the wealth and those who are impoverished. And living in and working in third world countries and knowing that I'm here in a city that has such potential, but yet we have so many people who are deprived of their basic needs. I just couldn't sit aside. So I joined a nonprofit board and became a part of Homemade San Diego, which is hitting its over 20 years here in San Diego, one of 20 affiliates around the country. And I think from being on their board, serving as a volunteer staff member, has led me to where as Cause San Diego, which leads the Cause Conference, we're in our 28th year. We adopted a conference that fell under the American Marketing Association San Diego. It broke away after COVID. And when we reimagined this conference, I noticed that I could take all of my skills and experiences from things that I'd worked in marketing and PR. After leaving the Marine Corps, I worked at the UPS stores, their PR director and social media lead. So when I dropped off of that to have another baby, I really started to figure out, how do I take all of these skills that I've learned and be of service to San Diego region. So that's where we are. Cause San Diego is a nonprofit program. We are a 100% volunteer team at this point, unpaid staff, but we are really on a mission here to just, if you look at our team, if you go to our website, you'll see people who are working in for-profit, nonprofit, professors. We've got educators. We have college students. We have college grads. We have seniors. So everybody's involved with Cause, and we've really designed it that way.
What is so? First of all, that's awesome. I guess it's very common that people have a personal connection when it comes to nonprofit. Our own family even has a nonprofit for that reason, due to a loss that we experienced many years ago. But the reason I'm bringing this up is to not overstate the obvious. But there's something to be said when there's a personal motive and drive behind that that's very personal, and then it pours over into the community. And that's like something that I've seen kind of shape in these conversations that I'm having with everyone that's coming on the 31st, is whether they're in business or they're nonprofit or they're a service of some sort. There's this drive that the thing we do over here should be helping over here, and then this over here should be benefiting from that together. And I was commenting the other day how brilliant it's been orchestrated. And I don't say this to be like a play for the home team, but like I'm impressed at how the quality and the standard of people Ricky's put together for other events, and like this one, it's like everyone's helping someone else, but then in helping someone else, they're being helped too. And I'm just so
Yeah.
impressed, and I'm so grateful that you've devoted yourself to that from a personal place as well.
And
Um,
if I could add on to that, what I would say as well is that one of the big things we're trying to teach, whether it's through our cause conference, other smaller engagements we do throughout the year, workshops, is that there is something where people, when they're missing that sense of purpose at work, that maybe that's just not fulfilling them to the extent that they need. Obviously, they might be getting paid well, but they just feel like there's something missing. Being involved as a volunteer, being involved even on a board, the board helps you to build leadership. And I've seen it happen with so many people that, they get involved. It's not always a ton of time, but, they dedicate some time, and how it rounds out who they are and their character, and just the opportunities and the people that they meet. So I think part of the partnerships, people think money. This isn't all about money. It's not always about funding something. It's about giving of your time or your skills, like I am as a volunteer, giving back in this capacity. You don't have to do full time like I am and trying to get something off the ground, but you start small, and it's amazing how it complements your attitude at work, your acumen at work, and the things that you can achieve.
So one of the things I wanted to ask you is, when businesses, let's say they haven't done something like this yet, they don't have a corporate nonprofit connection yet. What are some of the things that you tend to hear from business people in town as to either, why they haven't, or they're considering it, but what are some of the things that, like, those of us who are out in the business world, what would we be listening to or paying attention to and going, oh my gosh, that's a great opportunity for them right here when they say this, or they explored this but haven't really like crossed the threshold? What are some of the things you're hearing that we should be looking for? And then what would you say to kind of compel them to take a closer look and make that decision?
Yeah, so to answer your first question, I'd say some of the limitations or challenges that businesses that listened to, we've done focus groups in the past, and we're thinking about doing some again this year. But what we've heard is that sometimes they're overwhelmed by options and what to get done. Secondly, they don't have the staff to commit to it. Third, what's the ROI? right? If there isn't that bottom line piece of that, and they're wanting to understand that quickly. Or truly it's a sense of, I don't think I'm aligned with this with my business goals. So those are some challenges. And what we bring to the table is helping them to understand that there are ways for you to have some cause priorities. Some businesses do feel a little bit worried about favoritism, maybe going with one charitable nonprofit or one cause versus another. We have rarely seen consumers, vendors, anybody step back and not want to do business with an organization that's helping in the community, regardless of how many causes you're helping with. So we help them understand that piece of it. The other piece that I do think that's attached to ROI is understanding that what we're seeing, Bank of America just put out this bank business owner report, and within it, they have some key pieces that businesses should pay attention to when it comes to how to lean in to help with marketing and sales. And what we've noticed is that businesses more and more, small and medium enterprise, are leaning more into local events and finding local events as a way to kind of supplement and or um, to extend their calls to action online. Online is super saturated. It is obviously still a place where you should be involved, but it's not the only place. And in real life is really becoming, a place where sales and marketing can really make its magic when you can have those eye to eye and, personal conversations. So those are some things just to consider. Obviously Ricky's event happening, our cause conference coming in the fall. We're probably going to have a few other engagements this year as a part of our schedule. We find more and more businesses coming into those situations and walking away with some true partnerships or some new opportunities for their business.
I didn't know you were going to say that, but that's such a good reminder for businesses that, so much of the conversation these days is you got to be online. You got to do this. I mean, we're doing this online right now, but it's not the only thing. I'm not doing the rest of my business. We have a physical space here that people come to in person. In 2026, people still come here in person to do their business and make their media. But it reminds me, just during the holiday season, we did a food drive for a local organization. They were short food. I was like, you know what? Let's do something about it. And you know what I noticed? All that food was donated in person. All that food was picked up in person. I can't feed you a meal through the screen cam.
Right.
I just am glad you said that, because back to why we're even getting together on the 31st, it's to be together. It's that we're seeing each other face to face. It's that our lived experience isn't just experienced through a screen, and that the organizations that are helping people in a wide variety of ways in San Diego are still doing that face to face, in person. They're doing it belly to belly, as we say. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because for anyone who is in business thinking about, oh, how can I get involved with a nonprofit? Maybe that's one of your measurements. Maybe that's something that you decide is, where can you physically be involved and engaging in a way that matters and has purpose and is meaningful. So maybe consider that on your way to the 31st, when you come and meet myself and you meet Stacy. Is think about, and ahead of time, where can you find yourself placed? What do you want to be attached to? And what cause do you want to help better? What cause do you want to help uplift? That would be a great little pre-homework from Uncle Andy through the camera.
There we go. Yeah.
So, Stacy, tell me a little bit about in 2026. If I can ask you, like, kind of cast some vision, share a little bit about the future. What does 2026 look like for Casa San Diego? We're going to be together on Saturday, the 31st of January.
Yes.
What does the rest of the year look like, and how can people get involved with you?
All right. So if you want to learn more about Cause, you can go to our website, causesandiego.org. We have lots of great information. We've updated it. Actually, we just released our 2025 Cause Conference recap video. So if you want to check that out, it's on our site. You can watch the last couple of years of videos to kind of get a feel for who we bring in for that event. We will be having our Cause Conference again this year. We're looking at August or September dates. We're locking in a location and getting all that set up. So look for that announcement soon. Also, if you want to be on our email news list, we don't email every month, but we send out when we have things to share. That's where you'll get our announcements. Please follow us on Cause San Diego's LinkedIn page. That's where we're most active. And link in with me. And if you want to, learn more about different things that we have happening. But for the year, what our goals are to continue to elevate, or to educate, elevate, and activate businesses to lean in whether they're doing something, but it's just not, it's just kind of done ad hoc, but getting them to be more serious and intentional about how they can uplift our community that is in so much need right now. We've had so many changes. The nonprofit sector has taken so many hits from federal funding cuts and just overall the ripple effects that that's had on giving in our region. So how can your business be a part of that solution? Does not have to be financial. It could be as a sponsor, or it could be as an in-kind donation of services or products, but it also can just be having your employees tied into some volunteerism in the community. By the way, we have over 13,000 nonprofits in the region, yet here in San Diego County, less than 4,000 of them are paid staff. So like Cause San Diego, we run off of volunteers. And so think of that as a way to broaden out your way to support organizations. And I promise you, you will see the positive effects that it has on the morale and on the productivity, as well as even customers. They really are starting to look more and more to see how businesses are not just out to make a profit, but also out to improve the community.
Yeah. And again, that's such a great, like, a final thought to kind of like drive home this entire activity in this event on the 31st, is to do that. Is how do we make ourselves in a position of ultimate like health and ability for our entities that we serve, as well as the organizations and the neighborhood outreaches that are around us. And we benefit from the community at large, and giving back to that same community, I think, is such a core component, and what I'm so wildly excited for at Casa Sur Hacienda on that day. So, Stacy, I am so excited to meet you in person, just like we were talking about, encouraging everyone else to go and meet each other in person too. I'm so excited to meet you on Saturday, July 31st. We will have all of your contact information in the description box of this video. So if you're watching this right now and you want to reach out to Stacy, you'll find her contact information in the description box below. Also, you will find down there the link to register. Get yourself to the event. Bring someone you love and care about at home, at work, in your neighborhood, or in another organization that you're a part of. Bring them to this event as we talk more about how we can continue to share health, wealth, and prosperity in the new year for ourselves, our businesses, and our local nonprofits and neighborhood organizations. Stacy, thank you so much for being a part of this. I'm really excited to hear what you have to share on that day. And thank you all for watching. We'll see you there. Bye.
Bye.